Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 5D News Show. We're April 15. We're very happy to be sharing it at this moment with you. So we'll go over, as usual, the news and the not so much news and see what our beautiful oracle Sophie has to say, what messages, what truths want to be revealed. Hi, Sophie. How are you?
I'm good, very good. Thank you. Happy to be here and welcome everybody in the chat. It's always a pleasure to do those shows. So I'm so happy that we are back.
Yeah, we're back. So we took a little 1 week break to work on redirection. We had the retrogrades, eclipses. So we're really tuning in into what we can do better, what we can change, what aligns better with our souls. So this is the process we're going into. I'm working on the rebranding. So you'll see a little less shows this week because we're still working on that, but you're going to be as excited as we are, I'm sure, for the newness coming. I just have a new mic, so I hope the sound is better. Sophie told me that the sound was a little bit higher, so let me know in the chat or in the comments, but we should be doing better. All right, so what we're going to start, we're going to jump right in with our first category, which is the Earth and the stars. I always like to look at what's going on with the stars as a general context with what's going on with the politics and everything else in the world. So I have a question from Jeannie from the community. And she's asking, so I don't know what's the context of this question, but I guess we're just gonna go in it blindly with the cards and see what they have to say. So question, will the elites activate the pyramids towards the end of April to control the Earth population? So I have no idea the context of this question, but let's ask the cards if you will.
Okay.
So will the elites activate the pyramids toward the end of April to control the Earth population, or to, let's say, activate some kind of control mechanism?
So far, the first card that fell is a card of, it says talent, purpose, and skill set that makes me feel like they don't know yet how to use it completely. And they still need to learn how and adjust a few things. So it says that it's like a new world of possibilities. It's like something that they don't know fully what is there. So I don't think they're fully in control of what it means. So activating it by the end of the month, I don't think from that point it's possible. We do have a cycle completion that is right there. So I also think that there is bigger forces that are more in control of that kind of energy, and that I think that this means that it could be activated, maybe not for that purpose. I will do the 3 cards of tarot underneath, but it can be activated not by the elite, but from other sources.
Yeah.
So let me check that with the 3 cards of tarot.
We asked for the second question. Will the pyramids be activated by, let's say, for our highest good, to help with the evolution of humanity?
Absolutely. It's for the good of humanity. That's for sure. And it says far away, 3 of Wands. So that means other civilization elsewhere. So we have the Emperor right there. I think that means the elite, very much down on Earth. The elite are trying to take control of this force, trying to understand. There is a budget from government that are now being used for discovering how to use this force. Sorry about that. We do have the card of the moon. I think this is, I had this card previously, and this is the card that I associate with the fact that the moon is in a whole another topic, so we're not going to talk about this, but I think this is a second kind of chase of a huge power that just here on Earth, we're trying to get the control of that place, of that strength, and other civilization as well. So that's kind of a race on who's going to have the control. But it's a beautiful energy that has it currently. We have the Lover, we have the 6 of Pentacles, and we have the 3 of Wands. So it's currently being control, I would say, by a strength that is for highest good.
So you were using the word elites before in that reading. So I just want to clarify, maybe, are you pointing towards like the nefarious type of control, or let's say, because also I'm assuming people in power who have better intentions?
Yes, the people in power have good intention. They're not in the cards because here, I think that the people in power with good intentions knows that it is currently being held by a friendly place. So I don't see them rushing to be in that fight, in that kind of contest. But we can see that other civilization are also trying to get a hold of that. This is a very powerful energy that can be used for us or against us.
So for now, it's kind of a power grab, like a race to get in control of the pyramids. Is that what I mean?
Yes, absolutely. But for now, what I'm seeing is that this place only, that pyramids and that energy is being, the power grab is only from people on Earth that just discovered it or that are hearing about it even more right now. They're trying to get a hold of this energy. I would say for more not friendly purpose in that sense, but it's being held by a civilization elsewhere that has a good intention towards us, and it's really being used for population and not for the elite at the moment.
So the let's say the bad people on Earth that are trying to control this don't know how it works. So
they don't know yet.
Still working for our advantage. Okay, good. Second question in the same category. So I came across this video on X, and there's this, I'm assuming, specialist that talks about how sunglasses were invented not for our highest good. And he talks about how, I'm not going to put any sound to it, but how it has had a nefarious effect on cancer because we're blocking certain rays that are supposed to go through the pineal gland. And it's signaling to our body basically that we need to activate the protection. So basically he's saying if you're missing some of the rays, it's making you more vulnerable to, let's say, ill effects of going under the sun because you don't have your protection. Like, I'm summing it up. You can watch the video if you're interested in that. So we're just gonna ask the cards, are sunglasses preventing us from getting all of the light rays that are important to us? So I don't know if I'm asking the question the right way, but are sunglasses preventing us from getting all of the light spectrum that we're supposed to get?
Can we ask what the effect of the sunglasses?
Okay, yeah, let's do that. As I was saying the question, I was like, maybe it's like a negative form of asking. Yeah. Let's ask, like, what's the effect of the sunglasses on our ability to get all the sun rays, the light rays?
So far, it's good, and it's funny because the first card is showing up the eyes. So far, it's good in a sense that I don't see that it's negative. So let me get a second row before I speak. Let's see what we have there with tarot cards. So we have Justice. Yeah. The Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Cups, the King of Cups, the Empress, and the Magician. It's funny because the Empress always has a shield of protection, and we have the sun that is on top of it. We can see its muse, but we can see the sun. So I think that it's not exactly true. And what I'm sensing with those two cards is that there's always extremes.
Yeah, it's more of a balanced type of question. Okay.
So I think that your skin can receive way more sunlight and positive effect from the sun than, let's say, your eyes. I want to say that it's never in extreme. So if you're never having any light around, of course that can have some negative effect for eyes and everything. But it's more of a balance things, and because people are not necessarily in the balance, they're more in extreme naturally. It's better to have sunglasses, I would say.
Okay. Because like I get the fact, let's say if you're looking directly because you're driving and the sun is directly in your face, I'm assuming sunglasses are beneficial in that case. But if you're wearing them 100% of the time, and it's probably preventing you from getting some of the sun rays, like some of the light colors.
So those are the two extremes.
Yeah, exactly. So can we just ask, like, what would be the effect on, let's say, someone who wears sunglasses 100% of the time when they're outside?
Yep. Yeah, you're blocking a lot of information to come in and a lot of vitality to come in. So that's why I was saying extremes are bad, but but we have to be careful because people tend to go to extremes very easily. So wearing sunglasses all the time, we consider protection with a 9 of Wands. This is the wall, so we consider protection. We can have downloads, recharging, energy with the 9 of Wands. That for me it's a negative, but also because people have a hard time, like I said, to not go into extremes. I think it's better to not like lose your eyesight or something.
It's so interesting that you say that, because I feel like in the mainstream movement and in the alternative movement of health or anything, I feel like we have to stay away from extremes. Generally speaking, we should be like, maybe like some kind of balance is good with anything, with health also. So very interesting that you say that. Okay, so my last question in this category. So this is from the website of Astrolada. So thank you, Astrolada, for providing us with this slide. So she did like basically a chart of all the retrograde planets during this year. And I just wanted to show you guys because we're in a very special time right now. As you can see, there's only pretty much after April 12th until May 4th. So those 3 weeks are the only 3 weeks during the whole year where we have no retrograde planets, which is huge.
Oh my God.
So this is why I wanted to bring up this visual so you can see. And let's say outside planets, such as those ones, are not like that big of a deal because they go retrograde about half of the year, generally speaking. Personal planets affect us a lot more, but now is like a really special time. As you can see, those 3 weeks after April 12th until May 4th. So I'd like to ask the cards, because it's going to be the only time this year, as you can see, where we have all planets moving direct. So usually it's supporting going forward, moving forward with ideas, with projects. There's things moving faster usually. So let's ask the cards, what's the best way to take advantage of this rare opportunity of having all the planets moving direct? So how can we take advantage of this special 3 weeks?
Cards are crazy. So we have 2 stars right away. 2 stars. I'm going to show you, then I will explain. And if you have any downloads while I'm showing you the cards, of course, share with us. We have Meet Me in Tempois. We have Fresh Start. We have the answer is yes, and we have Down to Earth. I would say it's a lot of fresh start and a lot of stuff. Planting seed of fresh new beginning everywhere in your life. Relocation, starting a family, I would say new relationship, new business, anything that you really have the intention to commit to. It's very Saturn energy there. That's the only thing that I would say that's a warning sign for me. We have a lot of Aquarius and we have a lot of Saturn energy there. I don't know why, but with the stars, Aquarius, right? And with the strong commitment. The only warning is that anything that you start right now and we're not really sure about, you don't know if you want to really put a lot of attention there, it can backfire. That's the only thing. So I really see that it's it's the result of the retrogrades. You should have had time to reflect, reevaluate, and what you really now want to commit to, you need to start. So you had time to really reflect on those things. So you should know by now what is working and what is not working for you. Of course, we don't know 100%, but you should take risk in that sense. When I say backfire, is that if you're not serious, if you're not intended to be serious, committed to some of the things that you are starting now, there is this kind of this kind of consequence that is coming with this. I don't know where it's coming from, but I do see it.
I do have an idea, and I think you're so on point as usual, because as throughout the whole 3 weeks that we're having all the planets moving direct, we're having also Saturn conjunct the North Node. So you talked about a lot of that Saturn energy, which is all about commitment and all about thinking long term. So you're saying, you're completely right when you say, make sure that the things that you are starting are the things that you want in your life for the long term, and you want to commit to them, because yeah, it is a commitment. And the North Node is all about our future. It's all about stepping into the unknown, risking, taking a risk. It's kind of the Fool card also. Sometimes I kind of see it this way. So, but with Saturn, it's like we're reaping the efforts of the past, but also we're committing to new growth. So I think you're really, really on point, because we're going to have that throughout the month, throughout the next weeks, which absolutely makes sense.
So I think the best way to describe this, I just had a vision of it. It's like you are having a baby. So if you don't intend to take care of it, you're going to see it's really, really hard, because there is going to be this commitment that is coming with this new thing.
Yeah. It's not just about like, oh, new, shiny, cool. It's about like, do you want that structure to be in your life for the long term? And if so, like, you're doing the right things right now. So awesome. Thank you. I want to remind everybody that if you'd like to get your hands on this amazing oracle's time, you can have 1 hour with her in a private consultation to ask all of your personal questions. We have the 1 hour tarot reading with Sophie, and we have the 1 hour past lives reading if you're interested into diving into that, to maybe unblock some things in your present circumstances, but also get back to your previous gifts and past lifetimes. And if you are interested in that, the code to get 10% off is Jupiter. And I know, Sophie, you've been very busy with consultation lately, but I believe you did add some new spots in the month of May. Is that correct?
There's little spots. There's not a lot of free space in there. So if you want to have your appointment, book it now, I would say, because the schedule is pretty light, I would say, in the calendar. I'm making space and time to record also courses and new project. We want to expand. We have our new ideas, also our own baby. So, and there is a lot of appointment there. So I wanted to make sure that there was enough for everybody there. So if you want to have your appointment, book now.
All right, so the code again is Jupiter, and we have a very special promo coming up, because in about 1 month, on May 11th, if I'm not mistaken, it is Mother's Day. So we did that last year. We had a little promo there, and this year the candle promo for Mother's Day will be the Atlantis candle infused with Larimar. So a very magical and special energy. Larimar coming directly from Dominican Republic, which is the only country who produces Larimar. And this candle was sold out. We have a very limited quantity batch available for this promo. So if you'd like to get your hands on this amazing candle, do it now. We have a 20% off. So it's probably going to be the only time in this year when we have a discount on the candle. So take advantage of that. The code is Larimar to get 20% off, and it's available on the website, and I'll put the link down below. And the consultations will be also linked down below. So I forgot to say, oh, go ahead.
what's the scent of this candle? Because I don't see it.
Oh, that's a really good question. It's magnolia. It's my favorite. It's absolutely wonderful. I feel like it fills this space with so much peace, and you're gonna like really feel it high frequency, spiritually speaking, because of the Larimar, because of all the magic, the Reiki magic that is being infused by Elena in those candles, and they are handmade. Forgot to say. So amazing candle for an amazing mother figure in your life, or women in your life. All right. So that being said, let's move to our next category, which is going to be, we're going to dive a little bit into politics, because how can we avoid this, right?
Yeah.
How can we? So there has been a lot of talk around Trump's tariffs, and I know you've picked cards before. So like we just had this news recently, Trump pauses most global tariffs, but changes nothing for Canada and Mexico. So he announced a 90-day pause for a lot of the country's tariffs. And I'd like to ask the cards, because if you remember correctly, and I'm sure you're not going to remember, but if you guys remember correctly, Sophie picked up a few weeks ago that Trump at some point was going to change his direction with the tariffs and abolish most of the tariffs. So can we ask the cards, are we still on track with Trump abolishing tariffs for most of the countries?
Okay.
Because, like sometimes timeline change. So let's ask if we're still on track for Trump abolishing the tariffs.
He is not receiving the reaction that he was hoping for. That's first of all what I'm seeing.
Okay.
We have the card of regret, devotion, heart, and fear, with the card of agreement. So I don't think that we have a rebound of the sound. I think it's on your end, Jolie.
I don't hear it, so you might want to lower down the speaker volume on your end.
Okay. So no, it's there. I'm just going to mute you. Okay, good. So what we have there is Trump doesn't have the reaction he was hoping for the tariffs. So I think that he's reviewing his position on the tariff as we speak, and trying to make deals and agreements. So that's where he was hoping to go anyway. He was hoping to make deals. And there is a lot of layers on this, because I think we saw also in the past, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but we saw also in the past that there was some kind of crisis that he was trying to achieve. And I kept seeing in the cards, and I was wondering why I kept seeing that it was going to be fake and man-made. And now I know why. It's because of trying to get a hold of the inflation, probably. So when it comes to the tariff, I do see that he is trying to Six of Cups, he is trying to make better deals with people, and he's trying to do it behind closed doors with one by one. And so far, he is still heading in the direction of making tariffs and keeping that direction, but he is hoping that he's going to get better hold on negotiation with this. So he is not getting tired of it. We have 9 of Wands reverse as I'm seeing this. He is not getting tired of this yet. He is getting a little bit of confusion on why he doesn't have the reaction, and he is still hoping that everything will turn out how he wanted. And we do have the gold right there. So for those of you who are looking at the price of gold recently, it just went and this is, I think, the direction that he is hoping that it will take with the economy. So there's a lot of layers in this. I hope it's clear. Is there anything you want me to check?
Well, I had another question on the price of gold. So interesting. We're going to jump into that. But so basically, if I'm getting that correctly, he plans on abolishing most of the tariffs, but meanwhile, he wants to get better agreement with most of the countries. Is that, and also change, maybe diminish the inflation and have a better, let's say, worldwide financial situation, if I'm understanding correctly.
Absolutely. And I took cards as you were saying that, and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So that's the slowest card of the deck for me. And that for me says that he is still, he was sure that the tariff were going to be used for short term, and that would be causing a bigger reaction. So using that big reaction to his advantage, he was prepared for that timeline.
Yeah.
So now he is prepared for the more slow timeline, but he has to revise everything. And that's what is going on. The timeline for the tariff has shifted, and he's trying to figure out if he can accelerate it behind closed doors, making deals.
Okay, good. Because like personally, that's all I'm hearing about in Canada. Most of the news article in the mainstream, at least, are talking about the tariffs, and everybody's complaining about them. So it is a big talk. So I'm guessing he got that right when he was aiming for a lot of talk about those tariffs. Okay, let's talk about gold since you mentioned it. So I have a chart here from Kitco, which is one of the biggest supplier in Canada of gold and physical silver. So this is the 3-month chart, and as we can see, we're peaking big time in the last couple of days. So the price of gold has increased tremendously. Can we ask the cards, like, will it continue to go up? Let's start with that question.
Yeah, and I just before I remove those cards from the previous question, I just wanted to show you those who talk about gold currently with the last question. We have fear, and we have the world is made of gold, as we can see here. So Trump was hoping that with the big reaction that he was causing, people will sell all of their gold so that the gold would probably go down. And with this, buying it because he wants to back, I think, with gold. So anyway, he was hoping that the gold would go down with this.
But it's going up.
It's going up big time.
Okay, so let's start, because I feel like there's a lot linked to gold. A lot of politics, financial power in general, and maybe even like off-world connections. So let's start with, will the price of gold continue to go upwards?
Okay. I would say no. Grief and death. For those of you who are not watching, it says settling afterwards. So I would say it's a peak, and then it's going to go down. And it's not that, I don't think that if you have invested in gold, I don't think you're going to lose money unless you sell while it's really down. But it's not going to continue to reach higher levels. And it's funny because the first card is the woman card, the yin, which is silver and not gold. So I think that the gold price probably, I didn't watch the silver, what it's going on right now, but I think the gold price is going to affect the silver price.
Yeah, a lot of people are talking that the next big peak will be silver.
Okay. Yeah, it's not going to stay, continue to get higher and higher for the gold. I think it's going to go down and then stabilize.
Well, it makes sense because I feel like it is a direct response to Trump's putting on the imposing the tariffs worldwide. So people are scared of the economy, of what it will do to the US dollar and their currency worldwide. So I feel like a lot of people invested into gold. So it's probably why it peaked at this moment, because of the scare of the rest of the market. It's very uncertain with everything that's going on right now. But it makes sense also. So let's ask for silver. Will we see a big rise in the price of silver soon?
Yeah, I do see it right away. By the way, I know it's not your question, but we have that the economy, there's a question about the economy. We see it right there with the bills and everything behind. And we saw that the hope was that people would sell their gold. So keep watching. If you're selling your gold right now because it's high, keep watching in the future, because yes, it's going to stabilize, but there may be something else coming after. When it comes to silver, that's the next thing that is coming up for sure. We do have the Lover and we have the Moon, which is, for me, that's the silver. For me, yeah. And we have Celebration right after with the Three of Cups. What is next is the Eight of Cup and then the Knight of Swords. So it's going to go roller coaster. It's not going to be just a straight line, so don't panic. But I'm seeing it up and then a little bit down and then up again. So I think it's the next thing that is going to be up. So of course, with anything with finance, you have to be smart and watch it a lot and benefit from the highs and the lows in the best way possible. But I would say keep your eyes on the silver for the next few weeks, month.
Okay, I guess a lot of people are going to be happy to hear that. Okay, my next question in this category. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about the Commonwealth recently because of also, well, Trump alluding to maybe Canada becoming the 51st state at some point. Is he joking? Is he not joking? Who knows? But Canada is part of, as most of you know, what is called the Commonwealth, which is an association of countries with Australia, with UK, and a lot of people in South America, as you can see. And this is the timeline below of a lot of countries joining the Commonwealth. So while I was growing up, I was hearing the Commonwealth, and I thought it was like pointless and it had no power. But as I'm researching more into that, like I'm getting across a lot of information that kind of allude to the Commonwealth as being more powerful than we might think. And I have also questions from members of the community surrounding that. So let's just start with the cards. Like, how powerful is this organization really, the Commonwealth? How powerful is it really?
The first card I just jumped in is the serpent, the snake. So for me, it's reptilian line. Just wanted to say that.
Yeah. And like my second question was gonna be, does it have ties to off-world?
There we go. Okay, so how powerful is it? You know, I'm seeing that beautiful card so far. Yeah, the mask underneath as I'm seeing this. The card were beautiful, and then we have the mask. So I have beautiful cards of union, couple, divine love, and blah, blah, blah. And everything is just showing up as a kind of a utopia. They wanted to be, those who were having this vision of creating it wanted to have some kind of there's the people inside of it and there's the people outside, and it's like two different realities completely united with our visions. But we have the mask, so let's see behind the mask, what do we have?
It's so interesting that you mentioned that, because I'm guessing you've seen the Crown series on, I believe it's on Netflix, which talks about the English royal family, and like you see, like maybe 90% of their efforts in this series, at least, is conducted towards keeping the, let's say, the public image of the Commonwealth really high, and they're visiting countries. So this is like their main task, is to make believe that the Commonwealth is such like, you know, like this peace and love organization. You're going to be protected once you're here, and to kind of seduce other countries to become a part of it, that we have high ideals. So it's interesting that you say that.
I didn't catch that at all from the show. I think I didn't pay that much attention to it, to be honest. But that's interesting that we have that. Yeah. Hoping that the Wi-Fi will stay on, because we do have a little bit of a heavy rain and lightning.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune, Five of Wands. They wanted to create some kind of mafia, that some kind of you're in or you're out, total control, and then switch on the people. Like once you have committed, Ace of Pentacles, once you're in, once you have bought in, kind of a cult. Yeah, we have Five of Pentacles. So that kind of a communism energy in a bad way, kind of a you're going to have all of those beautiful things and then you're trapped because now we hold on to all of it and we have all of the power and you're dependent on us. The Emperor reverse. This is not a power that has good intention to protect, to provide, to be structured. It's just to take on you. And we can see that they chose a lot of African country, a lot of places like to have raw resources and to hold on and grab on raw resources.
Oh, yes.
Yikes.
Yes. Okay. So does the deal include, and this was not planned, but I just got this download. Does the deal of becoming part of the Commonwealth also include, let's say, humans in the physical form, or our rights, or our physical vessel, or something of this nature?
Eight of Wands, Page of Pentacles, the Fool. So far, oh yeah, okay. Well, it says that, okay, let me just show you those three. Three of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and we have the Five of Wands. So it says that this is not for the workers. This is to keep people enslaved and to keep people having less money than possible. It's to reinforce the working class, if that's
the slavery, basically.
Yeah, I'm trying to not use that word, but yeah. Yeah, exactly. And to not have the right amount giving back to them. It's to reinforce those who have more and those who have.
It's to harvest basically the energy of the people under this Commonwealth organization.
Yeah, and we have those two, but they were reverse. We have the Lovers and the Queen of Pentacles reverse. There's a lot of investment in the research of fertility and probably DNA research. Yeah, Four of Wands reverse, exactly. DNA research to be able, I'm assuming, to have the best workers.
Or we can also argue some kind of traffic.
I'm assuming it's for everything.
Okay, we're clear on that. All right, so, okay, I have a good question here from Joy in the community, and she says, as an American in California, I have often wondered if Canada will ever leave the Commonwealth. Is this even something most Canadians care about? And this is a great question, Joy. I don't even know if people are, let's say, conscious of their enslavement. So let's ask the cards. Is it something that most Canadians care about, i.e. being part of the Commonwealth, or not?
My God. Okay, cards are just flowing. Okay, let's see. We have High Priestess. We have the Fool. We have the Ace of Pentacles. And we have the Four of Pentacles, and the last card is the Ten of Pentacles. So we can see that we're being kept in the dark when it comes to it. So there's not a lot of reinforcement for, let's say, media, researcher, any type of information to the public on what it means. The expense, the cost, everything that is related, because there's so many pentacles. There is something shady going on with the money. There is something going on also with the resources. We talked about raw resources. So if people knew, I think that it would be a whole new story. But because we have the card of the High Priestess, which means secrets, amongst other things, we're not, as Canadian, really aware that we should get the hell out of it. But it's we're in too deep. Also, it says that Canada, I never heard of it, by the way. If you know what I'm saying, please let me know what I'm talking about. Four of Pentacles right there shows me that Canada has a lot of debts in in the Commonwealth. So
the Commonwealth, I wasn't aware, but national debt is very high indeed.
Okay, so probably if this is just let's say that is just the country, but we don't have it in Commonwealth. It could be that the money that is saving us right now because of it is coming from them to pay the interest or something, because we're owning money to them. We're in very deep trouble, and if we were to try to get out of it, we would not have the money to get out of it.
I'm back. Sorry, guys. I had an issue with the power, a little power outage. It is getting crazy outside. So you warned me before, but like it was not yet raining on my end, and now it's like I don't even know if you can hear this, but okay, this is crazy. It's like a tornado with rain and hail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's. I don't know if it has something to do with the Commonwealth, because this is where we were. But let's ask a final question on that. Are Trump's tariff oriented towards ultimately helping Canada get out of the Commonwealth?
Okay.
And I'm guessing it's a multiple reasons why he implemented the tariffs, but is one of the reasons an agenda to help Canada get out of the Commonwealth?
Yes, absolutely. So amongst other cards, we have watching in solitude. So separating Canada from the Commonwealth is part of it. I still think that he's trying to make Canada part of the US. I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I have every time. And we have the card of no return right after this. So I really think that there is trying to separate, like I said, and to, first of all, make Canada independent, because we're being drained of resources. And we'll see afterwards.
So interesting, because like, as we say, one of the Hermetic principle is as above, so below. So I believe that collectively we're getting rid of a lot of big energy drains that we're having as countries, as collectivities, but also we're doing that in our personal lives. We're being more aware of what's in alignment truly with us, and also what is draining our energy.
Mm-hmm.
And energy vampires, and we did an episode on narcissistic people, so I believe this is like a very global phase of our evolution as a humanity. Okay, we're gonna dive a little bit into mysteries, because you guys have a lot of questions in that department. So I just wanted to do a little update on the bobby pin trend. Mm-hmm. So you texted me the other day that you did it and it actually worked. Yeah, and I did it too afterwards. So
safety pin, that's the whole difference. And not being like in TV in front of many people also, but safety pin is working much better. And when I'm not in, well, we're going to do that alone, but I feel myself doing this with friends. I went to our friends who does Reiki. Hi, Claudia. And we had a fun night with the girls doing that. And they were like not believing me that we could. And then I showed them and they were like, what? And quick update on that too. I saw in a card that we need to have some Pleiadians in our DNA. And I asked them, because I don't know anything about like other civilization and stuff, but they are really into this. And I asked why, and they said that anytime they do the Reiki treatment that is from the Pleiades, they have to insist on the third eye. They have to do it. It's part of the specialty of that treatment is the kind of a recharging of the third eye. So apparently, if you never incarnated in that kind of life, you cannot do that. It's not going to stick. You
never incarnated. What you mean? If you don't have any? Oh, okay, you mean like if you don't have any Pleiadian heritage, basically.
Yep. If you don't have any Pleiadian heritage, it's not going to stick. And don't try with the bobby pins, because it's just not the best.
It worked. I have a video to show you guys.
It worked for you?
Yeah. I did it with the. Oh, I don't have my slide deck present. Just a little bit, just a little second here. Yeah, I tried it personally with a bobby pin, and then I was talking to Elena while we had like a little dinner over at my house, and I filmed her because it stayed for like a whole 5 minutes, even more, and she removed it herself.
Amazing. Yeah.
Because like I was like, did you try the bobby pin trend? And as I'm talking, she's like sticking the bobby pin to her forehead, and she's like, it works.
Yeah. And I like that exercise because since it worked and like I had fun with it with the girls, I can feel that I can more easily know when my third eye is activated. I can feel tingling and everything. So I like that exercise because at a minimum, even if it doesn't work the first time, you really need to concentrate first on this. But you're going to feel when you're activating that. Now it's just tingling like crazy.
Become more aware of that section of your body.
Yeah, it's like I'm assuming you can do it with any part of the chakras. It's just different reaction, of course, not going with the bobby pin every time, but I think you can really concentrate on each chakra and work better with each of them, and that's an amazing exercise to do.
Okay, so I wasn't planning on doing that, but since you mentioned the Pleiadian, and I'm guessing a lot of people on Earth have Pleiadian DNA. I feel like it's part of our DNA collective heritage. Can we get like some kind of percentage or something? Like, are most people on Earth, do they have Pleiadian heritage?
It just tingles like crazy. Okay. We have 10 of Swords, we have Ace of Pentacle, and we have 2 of Pentacles. So it says that people watching is going to have it a lot, but not in general, not people like on Earth in general. So it says that there's a lot of NPCs in the world, so that doesn't count. But in the people who are truly reincarnated, yes.
Okay.
I know.
But still, it's not the majority of, let's say, if we take our community, and I know a lot of you have commented below, I tried it, it works. A lot of you. So I'm guessing like our community has this component to it, but not necessarily the majority of the people on Earth.
So so the cards are really saying NPCs, you remove that.
Yeah.
And then it says at least 50% of the population that are not NPCs have some DNA of Pleiadians.
And what part of the world population are NPCs? I guess it's a good question to ask.
Yeah.
It could be surprising. I feel like we've already asked, but it was a long time ago and I don't remember.
Okay. Ace of Wands. 9 of Cups. King of Pentacle. I would say a lot of it. Like getting a number is not really easy with those, but
yeah.
I would say at least 30%.
This is huge. And it brings up a whole can of worms of questions, which one of them is, are they inorganic human? Are they clones? Are they checked out? And I believe we did also questions with you, and you said that most of them are NPCs because they checked out, like their soul is outside their body or not fully embodied because of their choices, also medical conditions / choices.
Religion is showing up. We have Hierophant in the strain, so religion is showing up. Not being able to do your mission because you're stuck in what others will say, what they will think. So those are really those are 2 cards of you need to be yourself because it's easy to fit in and you're not going to achieve a lot fitting in. So I think that a lot of NPCs at the root of it, before they officially became NPCs, they just didn't know how to be stronger than a matrix, I would say.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think
so it's not necessarily clones and inorganic humans, but it's also people who, let's say, don't have this connection with their soul. They're on autopilot mode here on Earth, doing like what society expects of them and not being individualized.
So what I'm seeing in the card is that if you are not being able, like I said, to be what is your word you said? Individualize.
Individualized, yes.
So if you're not able to live a life where you're stronger than the Matrix, you're not going to want to reincarnate tons of times here, because that means that you're just not to that level. But you can play a role for others. You can be an NPC for others. So there's tons of different NPCs playing roles for others, just inorganic portal. There's tons of stuff there, different ones, but there's also very dangerous that we were tested a few years back, if you know what I mean, 2020. Are you stronger than the peer pressure? Are you stronger than and this is going to create a lot of NPCs.
So interesting. And I believe it was Rupert Steiner who said he did like a lot of work with astrology and psychology, and he said that he estimated that 70% of people were not even individuated humans, which makes sense with what you say, because you said it's about 30% of
30%.
Or maybe it was the other, like, let me know if you know what I'm talking about in the comments. Okay, so this, I was supposed to ask this before, so I came across this right before the show, and I wasn't supposed to talk about this, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? So apparently they wanted to make believe that Katy Perry, along with some other beautiful looking women, were going into space. So apparently they went, you heard about it?
Yes, because I watched a couple small videos on this, and if you look at the logo on...
Yeah, this is where we were going next.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but like the stunt about like getting them into space, I was like, okay, what's going on? So a lot of people on X has been saying that they didn't really go into space. So let's start by asking the cards, did they really go actually into space?
I think we need Elvis for this one.
Elvis, come to our rescue.
Okay, let's see. Five of Pentacles. It's a complete no.
Okay. And yeah, like the classic card shows that they're outside the church as begging for money.
Yes, so that's the being outside. That's not being in at all. And we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is an accomplishment to show up to people. So they paid a lot to have this on some kind of a, if you research that, you're going to be able to find their name in history. You're going to have some kind of legacy to show to the rest of the world, and that is going to follow you. That's what they hope for. It's going to follow them for a long time as an achievement.
Okay, this is crazy. So were they doing something else, or was it just a publicity stunt?
Ooh. 10 of Swords are not doing much, but let's see.
Much, besides kissing the ground.
5 of Wands and a 10 of Swords. It's not looking good. I think they were put to sleep.
Okay. Wow. And what's the real agenda behind this marketing operation? Like, what do they want to? Because like I came across some posts, and I hope I'm gonna try to find it. Oh, here. Rhonda here on X says, crazy how Katy Perry and Lauren Sanchez going to space for 10 minutes is supposed to inspire women, but the women who already worked at NASA are getting fired and getting their bios removed from the site.
What is this operation supposed to achieve? We have 3 of Cups, 9 of Cups, the Hermit, 4 of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles. They're trying to change the face. This is just a PR stunt. They're just trying to change the face of it, to change the vibration of it, so people think differently of NASA. This is not really about... I don't think that they taught it thoroughly. It's just to make it more modern and to just have a kind of a more of a new vision of it, how people would think
Better
about it.
public image about NASA, which has been targeted multiple times recently as being a hoax.
Yeah, the sun. So that's the public image. Absolutely.
Okay. Woo! Okay, I hope we have the time because I have many other questions, but as always, we don't have the time to cover everything. But okay, so this was sent to me by, I believe, Tim. So if that's you, thank you, Tim. So of course, we are aware that some of the CIA files were declassified recently. So here we talk about declassified Cold War era CIA files detail Soviet clash with aliens who witnesses say turned soldiers to stone. Okay, so I'm going to explain the gist of what I'm understanding here. But apparently, and I read the article, of course, and they talk about some soldiers who were in a little group. And I can't remember where. Was it in Russia? I believe so. And at some point, they saw like a saucer UFO, and some little characters got out of there and blasted like a white light that turned almost all of the soldiers into stone. So kind of petrified, whatever. And two of them were hiding and were in the shade. So they weren't in the, let's say, in the periphery of that light. So they were able to witness what they saw. And that, let's say, testimony was released or declassified, rather. So
So can you just imagine like the family receiving like a message like your loved one, I'm sorry, they were turned to stone?
Yeah. And yes, this is from the KGB, and it was in Ukraine, apparently. Okay. Yeah. And yeah. So they released this report. So it talks about like the event, and I read it all. So yes. Okay. Let's add the cards. Where to begin?
I don't know. Like,
can we just ask like a general question, such as like, what do the cards have to add to this event? Like, what's the true nature of this event? Can we ask that, or like, do you want it to be more detailed?
I think I will switch it up. I'm just going to use this different deck. Maybe just asking what else can we know about this?
What else can we know about truths about this event?
This is big. Peter Pan, observer. So that means that the people who sent those guys there knew about it and just wanted to experiment. Is it true? But they knew about it.
They knew about it. And they said that they recollected let's say the people turned to stone and I don't know, some alien technology so that they could research it. So it's probably also one of the goals were to be able to research this technology.
Yep. But it says so far we don't know what to do with them. Okay. So we have ego death and refocus. That makes me think that they knew about it. They knew about it. They chose who to send there. Like, we're not going to miss you, go there. And it's very difficult to comprehend that somebody would take that decision. But yeah, they did that. And it says that basically they wanted to be prepared to find the weapons against that. So now that they have people who are clinically dead, they are going to just research more on this and be able to go back.
Okay.
Yeah, they're perfectioning weapons. That's what they're doing.
Okay. Wow. Can we say, and why was this particular event declassified from the CIA files? Because there was always an agenda behind something such as this, and we saw that it was covered by mainstream media, so it's not something small.
They want to start to investigate more fear. Let me just show you those three. They want to start investigate more fear against off-worlders.
Okay. Are they preparing for an off-world invasion to keep us in fear of that?
Okay. Yes and no. It's going to be completely fake because it says that they have a hard time finding people who wants to attack us.
Well, this is what they call the Blue Beam project. Exactly. All right. And so I'm guessing what we can say as, let's say, a general advice for everybody is not to fall for any kind of fear operation.
Yeah. And to continue to just send love, because your vibration is going to be ultimately what telepathy and vibration is going to be what resonate with most off-worlders anyway. Entity off-worlders, manifestations. So you better just be in your highest vibration as possible, so you are able to resonate at a frequency that you can be seen as a beautiful human being.
Yeah, and we manifest the outside reality of what we are inside. So if we're full of fear, we're gonna manifest also fearful circumstances and experiences. And but of course, this is not just an individual process; it's a collective one. So hence why they're putting so many efforts in that. So I hope people that are watching this are going to be able to discern truth from a fake. Last question here, because it's been a couple of weeks that I wanted to ask this one. Let me see if I can find it. Yes. So that was sent from Lulu Ong on our community. So she says, "Hi, MJ, beautiful souls. I have a question about the mausoleum, and I hope I'm saying that right, of Qin Shi Huang in China." So the emperor in ancient China, and before his death, he had built a. Okay, I'm missing some words here. What is going on?
Interesting that this is just after the soldier turned to stone story.
Yeah. Oh my God, that wasn't planned that way. That's so true. Okay, so there's a theme here. There's a theme. So she said he was the first emperor in ancient China, and before his death, he had built a massive tomb for himself, hidden deeply in the mountains. The China government refuses to open the tomb till this day, citing reasons like their current technology is inadequate, which may cause irreversible damage to the tomb or the artifacts inside. Can the cards tell us if the government is trying to hide something, and what important information or relics are inside the tombs?
Okay.
So can the cards tell us if the government is trying to hide something? What is there in this place?
Yes, there is something to hide. That's for sure. That is for sure.
And okay. It looks like really amazing. It looks like something out of this world. Let's see what
so we do have Ace of Wands, Ace of Sword, Ace of Pentacles. So that's full, yeah. Interesting because each time this is a different kind of deck. This is the after or before tarot. I don't know. I mix it both, so that's why I don't know. But it's interesting because everybody is grabbing the resources. So it's in the action of grabbing it. So I think that government has already looked into it, into what is there, and trying to do research about it, try to get their version of fact. So there's probably huge reveals that are going to come in whenever this is being open and to public and everything, because they are trying to switch what is there and to their advantage. A lot of resources have been stolen by government already. So there is things that they don't want public to know that had value, possibly powers because we have a devil right on top of it. And this makes me think that it's being used, those artifacts are being used because of the powers of it in secret societies and stuff. Such.
And it's interesting because the aces that you picked before, so the Ace of Pentacles is saying basically that there's something of a physical, a tangible value, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ace of Wands to me is something more like spiritual.
Yep.
Some kind of power that is there, maybe a vortex, maybe, I don't know. And the Ace of Swords it might be like knowledge. So can we ask the cards, like, what kind of spiritual power is held there in this mausoleum?
And the fact that we had two hands on the Ace of Pentacles it means that there was something of value that was grabbed already for me.
Okay, but let's see like the more unseen side of things, like spiritual or spiritual power or knowledge.
Everything is reversed. I'm just going to turn it. It looks like there is something about the legacy. So something about like who's next in line for the throne, or something about the power was not going to the right place after this person. Let me see, because yeah, for me that's pretty much it. There's a reveal. I know you're asking about the more spiritual power, but that is what is coming true. Is there's a part of the knowledge that is going to be revealed with this if they're not removing all the trace of it. That either the person next in line was, oh, I'm alone again. Let's wait that Julie comes back. Well, I will finish my sentence. Okay, so there's something in there that says that the person that is next in line, I think that it's not the right person that was there next after them, and this is going to be revealed with what is in that tomb. So that's interesting. We have it, and on the more spiritual way, I will do more cards when Julie is back. So sorry about this, people. We'll see you in a second. Okay, so while we wait that Julie comes back, I'm just going to answer the question about the spirituality. I draw some cards. We have the Magician, the Knight of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the High Priestess. So I can see that what is more of the powerful spiritual powers that is in that tomb is something that would give a lot of hope to the population if that was revealed. It's almost like this is the legacy is to go back to the people. The power should go back to the people. So there could be either a scroll, there's something with written that this power wanted to give the power next to the population more, or an object that has this power. Interesting. So because Julie has such a lot of problem today with the weather, we apologize for that. I'm just going to end this show alone. I'm going to thank you everybody for showing up for this 5D news. Thank you so much for watching from Julie and I. We really appreciate your love, your support. Don't forget to like and to be a member of this community if it's not already done. It helps us to grow and to continue to do those free shows for you. And if you want to have your personal reading with me, you can book at MaisonJupiter.com. Don't forget the promo for the candles. They smell amazing and they are a limited edition. So love you guys, and we will see you